Hello one and all. Welcome back to Rupa Ganesh channel of English. Grandma, Granny. What picture comes to your mind as soon as you hear this word? Yes, Grandma means one who tells us interesting stories, who cooks us delicious food, and so on and so forth. You may even say she will always be sitting in a corner and chanting mantras or reading sacred books like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Quran, Bible, etc. But have you ever seen your granny climbing the tree? Sounds strange. Answer would be no. But the grandma of the poet, that is Ruskin Bond's grandma, used to climb trees. Here is an interesting poem, Grandma Climbs a Tree. Before going to the poem, let us know more about the poet Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is the Indian poet and author of British descent. His work in the field of children's literature has been recognized by the Indian Council for Child's Education. He was born on 19 May 1934 at Kasoli in Himachal Pradesh. His parents were Aubrey Bond and Edith Clark. He is known as the best writer and novelist. He has been awarded with Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri and Sahitya Akademi Award. His first novel was The Room on the Roof, and his autobiography is Scenes from a Writer's Life. The Blue Umbrella is also his famous work. Grandma Climbs a Tree. My grandmother was a genius. You would like to know why? Because she could climb trees. Spreading or high, she would be up their branches in a trice. And mind you, when last she climbed a tree, she was 62. Ever since childhood, she would had this gift for being happier in a tree than in a lift. And though as years went by, she would be told that climbing trees should stop when one grew old, and that growing old should be gone about gracefully. She would laugh and say, "Well, I'll grow disgracefully. I can do it better." And we had to agree. For in all the garden, there wasn't a tree she hadn't been up at one time or another, having learned to climb from a loving brother when she was 6. But it was feared by all that one day she would have a terrible fall. The outcome was different. While we were in town, she climbed a tree and couldn't come down. After the rescue, the doctor took Granny's temperature and said, "I strongly recommend a quiet week in bed." We sighed with relief and tucked her up well. Poor Granny, for her it was like a brief season in hell, confined to her bedroom while every breeze whispered of summer and dancing leaves. But she had held her peace till she felt stronger. Then she sat up and said, "I'll lie here no longer." And she called for my father and told him, undaunted, that a house in a treetop was she what now wanted. My dad knew his duties. He said, "That's all right. You'll have what you want, dear. I'll start work tonight." With my expert assistance, he soon finished the core, made her a tree house with windows and a door. So Granny moved up, and now Every day I climbed to her room with glasses and tray. She sits there in state and drinks sherry with me, upholding her right to reside in a tree. Yes, that's fine. I hope till now you enjoyed the recitation of the poem. That was for your ears. If you want it for your eyes, you can have the text in your hand and go through the poem once or twice. Now, let's move on to the highlights of the poem. The poet of the poem, Grandma Climbs a Tree, is Ruskin Bond. The poet calls his grandmother a genius. What do you mean by genius? Genius means a person having an extraordinary talent or skill. So what talent was Grandma having? Grandma was a genius because she could climb a tree. So climbing tree is not an ordinary thing. It's an extraordinary skill. Each and everyone can't climb it. Can you? So that too, she used to climb a tree which was either spreading or high. It means she could climb the tree of any kind. It may be spreading. Have you seen the tree which is spreading? Like it may be banyan tree or any other mango tree, etc. Or the trees which are high. For example, eucalyptus tree, araknut, coconut, right? Or pine tree which you can see in the background picture. So like that, she could climb any kind of trees. That too, she was 62 when she climbed a tree last. Though she has become old, even at the age of 62, she could climb tree. And she was happier in a tree than in a lift. So you may feel happy by going in the lift in multiplex or any other mall. But this lady used to find happiness in climbing a tree, but not in the lift. By now, we came to know that Grandma loved being amidst nature, that is, climbing and being on tree. But do the society accept it? So, see here in the 6th point, the people told Grandma that she should stop climbing trees as she grew old and told to grow gracefully. So what do you mean by growing gracefully? See, society will be having some expectation, some norms how a granny should behave. She's old, that too a lady. So it's not acceptable for that granny to climb the tree. So they told, see, this is not graceful. It's better you be at home. And also it is safe for you. But what was the reply of the granny? See in the 7th point. But she replied that she would grow disgracefully. And she could do that better. So she was having fun of those people only. She used to say, no. I will grow disgracefully. I'm like this. So only the poet calls his granny genius, unique. See, all grannies we won't see on the tree, right? So she told, I want to grow disgracefully. How? By climbing the trees. Did you notice in the poem recitation? We came to know that Granny used to climb all kinds of trees. And there wasn't a tree in the garden she hadn't been up. Means she used to climb, she has climbed already all the trees in the garden. Right? So when did she learn climbing tree? See in the point 8. Grandma learned to climb a tree from her brother, her loving brother, when she was 6. See, at the small age itself, she has acquired that skill. Right? Once, what happened when all the poet's family were out, they were in the town. Once she climbed a tree and couldn't come down. See, it didn't happen as the society expected. So, in the poem they tell, outcome was different. What do you mean by outcome? What actually happened? So, what happened actually? They expected that Granny will fall down from the tree. But it didn't happen so. Then what happened? She climbed the tree, but couldn't come down. She was rescued by the villagers. So somehow the villagers rescued her. Rescued means saved. Then the doctor came. What did the doctor say? Let's see. The doctor took Granny's temperature and recommended a quiet week in bed. Means she shouldn't move out of the house. She should be stuck to the bed. Listening to this, what was the response of the family members? By this, all the family members sighed with relief. So, they took a breath with relief. Oh, thank God. Now she will not move out of the house. Right? But what is the feeling of the granny now? For grandma, to be confined in bed was like a brief season in the hell. See, can you identify the figure of speech here? Yes, you're right. It is simile. So it has come like when the word like, so, as is used, and there is comparison between two things or persons, places, anything. It is simile. Yes. So, being on the bed was like a hell. It's not a heaven for her. It's like a hell. Why? She couldn't go out. She couldn't climb the tree. So the breeze used to whisper of summer. See how nice it is outside. The great summer is there and you can climb and enjoy. But see how you're sleeping in the bed. So she was feeling like that. Feeling very bad in the bed. Grandma held her peace. Till when? Till she felt stronger. Till she felt better. As soon as she felt okay, what did she do? See in the 14th point. As soon as grandma felt better, she wished for a house on the tree top. See, what was the demand of the granny? She didn't ask for any of the good dishes or any jewelry or anything like that as all other ladies or grannies ask. She demanded for a tree top. That was her great demand now. So, how did the family members, that is the poet and poet's father, respond for that? See there, the poet's father was a dutiful son. Who is the poet? Yes, Ruskin born. So Ruskin born's father. Ruskin born's father is the son of the granny about whom we are talking. So he was very minded. He minded about his duty. He knew what his duty was. So what did he do? He accepted the demand. So he fulfilled her wish by building a house on the treetop. Whose assistance he took? With the poet's expert assistance. So even Ruskin born helped his father to build the house on the treetop. Now what happened? How was Granny now on the treetop? See in the 16th point. To reside in a tree was considered as grandmother's right. She felt that it is her right to stay on the treetop. Right? Granny began to live in the tree house with windows and a door. So are you all also feeling to go and stay in a treetop? See, you can see the picture in the background. Yes. So it is also having windows and a door. In the same way, Granny got a house on the treetop. The poet and his grandma used to share sherry with each other on the treetop. So they are having the nice time there on the treetop now. So it's common to have sherry over there in those countries. So Granny and the poet had sherry and enjoyed. So here we need to appreciate Granny's great gift, her determination. See how strong, how firm she was, right? And the life spirit and her love for nature. we people nowadays, youngsters itself, will lose the life spirit. Oh, I'm fed off, I'm tired of this life, all miseries, all troubles. But see how Granny was. She had such a great life spirit, her courage, her determination. So we need to learn this from her, and also her love for nature. She is not liking to move on to the cities, right? She loves to live in the nature, amidst nature. I hope you all enjoyed the poem, right? Till now, we have dealt with the poem in detail with its highlights. Now let's see the summary of the poem. The poet Ruskin Bond's grandmother was a genius. She had a rare gift. She could climb the tree even at the age of 62. She learnt it from her brother. She could climb all kinds of trees, whether high or widespread. People told her to stop climbing trees and grow gracefully. But she preferred to climb trees and grow old disgracefully. Once she climbed the tree and was unable to get down from it. The villagers rescued her. She was asked by the doctor to spend a quiet week in the bed. This made her life a hell. After her recovery, she demanded a tree house. She got the house built by her son and grandson. She lived there in state. So, Ruskin Bond's grandmother is a unique and humorous character. We need to appreciate her love for nature, determination, skill, and her life spirit. Yes, dear pupils of 10th standard, you can make use of this summary for 4 marks question. It may be asked for 4 mark question, that is at the state board, Karnataka State Board for SSLC students. Thank you all. Friends, hats off to the poet Ruskin Bond for giving such a pleasant character through his poem Grandma Climbs a Tree. His grandma is genius, unique and incredible. This poem enkindles the pleasant memories of our life. Thank you all. Thanks for watching.